Hello and welcome back. I am Seger and today I am listening to Mutant by Arca. It has been a long time since we've listened to Arca on this channel and I'm very excited to get back into this artist. There was a very divided discussion about whether I should continue the Kick series after Kick 3 or if I should start listening to the old releases from early in Arca's career. I was conflicted about where to start and I just threw a dart and we are starting with Mutant instead of continuing with Kick 4. I feel good about it. I'm really excited to listen to this. I'm really curious to hear what Arca's early work sounded like. I've been told this is instrumental. We've listened to instrumental on this channel before. We love instrumental. I have no expectations. I enjoyed Arca's self-titled. I feel like there was a good amount of instrumental on there. I didn't love every track, but I enjoyed it as being an art piece, and I'm kind of expecting more of an art form with these, but these might be like house tech beats. I don't really know. I have no expectations. We are going in with an open mind. We are exiting with a bunch of songs to add to a playlist. By the way, I'm super happy to announce that if you are enjoying this channel, you can now find uncut reactions on Patreon with full playback and additional commentary. You can find that linked in the description or at the link in my bio. I also will be pre-releasing tracks to my upcoming album exclusively on Patreon. If you're interested in being the first to hear them, you can find them there. Here's a preview of a track that I just released there. You can also find my music linked right here or in my bio where you can listen on your preferred streaming service. I'm your sponsor, Seger. Thank you for listening to this message. Mutant is going to be 20 tracks with a runtime of 1 hour and 2 minutes. Track 1, Alive. It's very chaotic, and this was kind of something I was expecting just from some of the sounds off of the self-titled. Something I love about Arca is that no matter how crazy it gets, you can always catch the beat. There's almost multiple rhythms, but you can always catch the one that you're meant to catch. Oh, that's the beat. Ooh. I really love that the complex rhythm is in pockets. I wasn't expecting that. I think that's a really cool way to do that. Really nice atmosphere. It feels very fresh. I like that. I think that was really interesting. I think it was kind of a sound that cinematically a lot of people are trying to copy already. Track 2, Mutant. interesting texturally. I've never heard anything like this. I don't think I would necessarily... I don't even have words right now. This is very different. This is very different from, I feel like, anything else Arca has done in the Kick series. You can really hear the foundations that are laid for their later artistry, though. I don't know what I expected from this, but it wasn't this. I'm very surprised and interested. It's not often that I'm this speechless. I just really... I have no thoughts. There's just something so nostalgic about the softer pads on this album. This is such a nice texture, and it's crazy because of how insane the first 2.5 minutes were. Really, all of this, up until now, was pretty insane. That is nice. I almost wish that the last track was 2 tracks that bled into each other because I want to listen to that end section a lot. I think I would re-listen to that very often, but I don't think I would re-listen to the first 5 minutes of it. I kept running with it because it transitioned. Yeah, that was a very interesting track. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that before. I'm very surprised by the textures and just the constant repeating. You can really hear what Arca sticks with. It's really cool that you can totally tell this is Arca production. And the gap, what year was this? 2015? Yeah, that's crazy. I really have nothing to say about that. I enjoyed that. I think that was really interesting. Track 3, Vanity. The dynamics are so incredible. I love that about Arca's production. It's almost like a breathing world. I think that was a great track. I think that was really atmospheric. I felt like I was hearing more than just music at times, and I thought that was really cool. All right, moving on. Track 4, Sinner. Caught me off guard. Can we talk about the cover for a second? Creepy as hell. And honestly, with this song, I'm hearing it. Is this whole album gonna be spooky? I wasn't prepared for the whole album to be creepy. I should have known just from the cover. I guess we'll find out. I'm not ready for what's to come, am I? All right, let's continue. I know the rhythm now, and it still is just so aggressive. It's catching me off guard. It's the silence. It makes the impacts feel louder. Now this is what I was thinking would be on here. This is what I've been waiting for. I love this. I wasn't ready for it to end. So those stabs existed through most of that piece. That means I was right when I was saying that the silence was making it feel so loud and aggressive, because I didn't mind it at all during the rest of the piece. I loved that. I thought that was really great. I really love the beat. I think the beat added a whole new element and just shifted the whole vibe. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that, and that feels like Arca, and that's what I was kind of expecting to hear more of. I shouldn't be surprised by the first half of that piece being so jarring, but it was getting to be too much for me. I was ready to turn down my music. It felt so intense, and it caught me off guard at the beginning. I'm not sure if I would have gotten into it unless those drums came in. And I think the piano also came in at the right time too. It's a small element. It did what it needed to kind of change the mood a little bit too. Track 5, Anger. Interesting direction. I was not expecting this from those first 20 seconds. Such an interesting sense of rhythm. I really like how the sound kind of returned, but not in the same form. I enjoyed that it felt new. I like that. It was very interesting. Very misleading for the best. I really took a second to catch on to the rhythm, but I enjoyed that. Track 6, Sever. I feel like this should have been track 7 just from that title. I really love the sounds on this record. They sound very retro. Oh, interesting direction. I was not expecting this chord progression. How dare I expect something bright off this album? This album is clearly just pain. So from the initial chord progression, I was very sure that this was going to be another dark song, and I think it really did end up getting brighter despite the chord progression initially throwing me off. I liked that a lot. I feel like that was very different from the rest of these so far. I think I am most likely to re-listen to that. I definitely want to hear that again. I feel like there's more for me to get out of that. Track 7, Beacon. Wow, it is really loud. I like the panning. I think that's kind of a continuation of some of the sound from the last song. I think that was fine though. Clearly an interlude, but replayable. I like to feel like these are very much breathing. That felt like it was breathing, and then there was even some little steps it sounded like, and then someone catching their breath maybe. I'm almost envisioning all these as being from the experience of the, I'm assuming, Mutant on the album cover, but that's just because I have to sit here and look at it. Track 8, Snakes. I wasn't ready for the first part to end, but this part is lovely as well. I really like the direction that this album is taking now. I think that it took a turn for the best. This is very enjoyable. I love that vocal breathing. I don't know what it is. It's the most attention-grabbing thing for me, though. I feel like this is the perfect mix of a ambient track and a track with a solid rhythm and melody. I'm not ready for it to change again. Alright, we're back. I think that was a super fun track. A lot happened. It didn't happen so quickly that you can enjoy it. I think that is totally the vibe I was expecting from this album and I was wanting to hear. And I think that the direction has shifted in the best way it could have. I'm really surprised that songs like this are now in the middle of the album, when traditionally people would put the more common rhythms in the beginning of their album just to get people interested, and then the avant-garde stuff would go in the middle. I think this is a really interesting sequencing. Track 9, Else. A very calm track. Not something I would go out of my way to hear ever, but I think that was enjoyable. I like hearing a piece that is focusing on piano. That was new. I don't know if I've heard an Arca piece that sounds quite like that. So I enjoyed that aspect of it the most. Track 10, Umbilical. Alright, I lost the beat. Oh, this is the new one. This piece is really interesting to me because I feel like the production is pretty simple, but there's little nuances here and there that make it sound more produced. This is the imagining of what it's like when you just start pushing buttons. If it sounds good, it sounds good. Cool. A really interesting atmosphere with that one. I like the vocal that was used in that. And I actually have noticed that there's just little bits of Arca's voice here and there. At least I think that's Arca's voice. And I like that. It's not even a full word that comes out, but it's just as an element of this is Arca. Like, I think that's really cool. Track 11, Hymn. I like this a lot already. Such an interesting sound. That did not sound like any hymn that I've ever heard before. I enjoyed that. I think there was a lot of nostalgic sounds on the front half of the album, and I think the past couple of songs, there's been just really like emotional sounds, not even nostalgic. I like that shift as well. Track 12, Front Load. The background pad. What a beautiful atmosphere. I really like the way this one built up. I like the whole song so far, but this moment is gorgeous. It's very chill and relaxed, but it's such a vibe. I could totally see myself putting this one on. I have nothing else to say about that. Track 13, Gratitud. Arca loves their reverb. Really beautiful spaces being created. The chords feel so intentional on this one. to dissonance, back to beautiful, back to dissonant. It's really interesting. We're back into this sort of haunting place, sort of not. I love the lushness of the guitar, though. It's really reminding me of, I think it's Hoya. I think that one was really interesting. I really liked the beautiful parts. It felt very intentional. The hauntingness made me feel uneasy. It made me feel irritated that we couldn't enjoy the beautiful, but I think it's all very intentional. And I think the space created is just wonderful. Really good track. I'm enjoying this so much more. I think the first 5 tracks, I kind of understood the album, but I didn't know if I was really going to be into it. And everything since I've really, really enjoyed. I mean, this is so different from all the other Arca albums. But I love how much I can hear how this has been the base of Arca's production and how much better they've gotten from here. I think even with the dissonance that's been on lots of this album, Arca has improved significantly today in comparison. Not that I've heard anything super recent. I think the oldest project I heard is 2021 or something. But still, I mean, I'm sure they've even expanded upon that significantly. Yeah, you know, I was expecting this to be different from self-titled, but I can hear a lot of the very emotional, intense, angry sounds that would inspire that album specifically. Track 14, N. I think this is one of the most interesting tracks on this record so far. That was one of the more interesting tracks on this album so far. I don't have anything to say about it besides for that. I really was interested in the very first sound, and then the speaking, the yeah. It was off rhythm from that, and everything from there just evolved very interestingly. Track 15, Siren Interlude. Oh, I was vibing out so much, I didn't even realize the track changed. All right, well, what's going on right now is beautiful. I think that Siren Interlude was interesting. It was super easy to zone out to, so I think that it was good just because I was able to do that. I really like how it transitioned into this, though, and I'm really liking the sounds I'm hearing so far on this. So we're going to continue this where we left off. Track 16, Extent. Starting to get heavier, and I wish that lighter sound would go on for longer. Really beautiful. I think one of the most beautiful tracks on this album so far. I really like that. I think that is going to be re-listened to a lot. That is a great track to just sit and ponder. Beautiful. Very cinematic. I like that. I like that a lot. Track 17, Enveloped. Maybe one of the most vibey tracks so far on this album. A very avant-garde album. I like the ones that are a little more upbeat. Of course the snap's on there. Oh. I think that was one of the best ones so far in terms of what I was looking for going into this album. With upbeat, vibey songs, I was expecting a lot of avant-garde, but this was great. Incoming Slur, track 18, Faggot. I was thinking of naming one of my tracks Faggot, and I didn't know if you were allowed to do that. I didn't know streaming services would publish that, so maybe I can, but now I feel like it's taken. Now I feel like I'm going to be copying if I do that. Arca, you've owned it. Track 18, let's get into it. I was already gonna say this track's giving me anxiety, but that just added to it. Interesting track. I wouldn't say that's one of my favorite ones so far, but it was an easy listen, and I think it brought back some earlier elements from the album. I enjoyed that about it. Track 19, Soichiro. nice sound with the pads coming back in. I wonder what the second half of this is gonna sound like. Is it gonna be a reprise of these sounds, or is this gonna continue evolving? Getting tired. This has been a long reaction. It was a good track. It was interesting. It could have ended at the 2-minute mark, I feel, when it was halfway through and we still had another half. I don't think it needed a reprise. That's my overcriticism for that one. Track 20 and the final track, Peonies. The vibe would just be so different on this if Arca didn't love noise. I think that what's really nice is the background stuff, but then we have this phasing white noise, and it feels more Arca-like, but it definitely changes it from being sort of the super haunting sound to this I'm not sure how I feel kind of sound. Alright, that was Peonies, and I have nothing else to say about that track. Mutant by Arca. 20 tracks, over an hour. I think that was a interesting album. I can definitely hear so much of her future production. It's really interesting to hear that kind of start. I think it could have been a few tracks shorter, but that's just my opinion. I am so curious about people's reasoning to sit down and listen to this after the initial listen. I don't think this is something that I need to hear again, whereas some of the other Arca projects I've listened to, there's a lot of re-listenability. There's certain tracks here that I would like, but there's just so much noise and aggression in a lot of these tracks where I don't think I'll even be able to re-listen to it, because the parts that I really like and want to rehear are not the most re-listenable. But a very wonderful project with the re-listenability set aside. A lot of emotion poured into this, a lot of intentional choices being made. It's really interesting how someone is able to do that with a lot of white noise and a lot of very non-traditional sounds. It's very not musical, and it's turned into this musical sound with the combinations of sounds being used. And I think that's just really awesome. For one, I don't think I could make most of these tracks. There was one where I commented, I'm like, it reminds me of when I first started making music and it was just play things until it sounds good. That is not something that can be said about most of these tracks. I think most of these tracks are really phenomenally produced. It's really nice to hear where Arca started, just so that I have an understanding of how far they've gone since this. And I really do believe that this is the foundation, especially for Arca self-titled, but even further works from there. I hear a lot of the rhythm and ambient sound selection and just the element of unpredictability in rhythms, unpredictability in where the sound is going, because it's just so chaotic. I think a lot of artists evolve so much that they're unrecognizable 10 years apart. I think that this is is very recognizably Arca's production, and what I've listened to since is 6 years after. So I think that is really cool and really great that someone is able to hone in their craft so well instead of just genre jumping. While there is a lot of variety in Arca's projects, I think that anyone who listens to Arca would understand what I'm saying. A very long listen though. I don't know if I could do another instrumental album like this. I always say drop recommendations in the comments, but I don't think I want to hear another album like this. I think I'm happy with this dark instrumental sound, and I really enjoyed Sophie's Nonstop Remix album, which was kind of a instrumental album. I feel like all the vocals were very sampled, and I enjoyed that a lot more. That was a lot more upbeat, and it had ambient sounds, but not in the haunting way that this does. I think that was a great listen. I'm glad that I took the time to listen to it. It's very difficult doing these reaction videos because I do want this to be an engaging video, and I don't think that this was the most engaging project for my taste personally. Maybe if there was less avant-garde, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. I'm not sure, but I did enjoy it. I think there's some re-listenability here, and I am grateful for all the people who recommended this. Please drop your other recommendations in the comments. Try not to do so much in this style, but we're going to continue with Arca very soon. I'm sorry that I waited so long to continue. Subscribe if you're not so that you don't miss future reactions to Arca and other of your favorite artists. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you want to see more, you are always welcome to check out my Patreon, linked in the description or in my bio. Also in my bio, links to my music on your preferred streaming services. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.